Hi there, I'm Cindy Haba with Momentum Coaching, and I work with ambitious, accomplished, and aspiring professionals seeking to land their ideal role, start a new business, or advance in their career. Welcome back to Career Club. When you're at the point where you're putting together your resume and you have gaps in your work history, it can feel often nerve-wracking to think, oh no, that's going to stand out. That's not going to look good. What should I do about this? Part of the answer to that is in being able to tell your brand story in the way that you want to tell your story. Your resume is a document that represents you. It represents where you've been. But most importantly, it is written for your audience. It is written for who you're sending the resume to. And the story on your resume needs to make sense. It needs to be able to convey to that audience who you are, where you've been, what you've accomplished, and what your results are. And if there's a gap in your resume that needs to be explained, explaining the gap so that they don't scratch their head and they don't wonder a little bit about where you've been or what you've done, but that you can make sense to them and that all of your experience is relative to who you are now and why you are applying for their opportunity and how you add value to what it is that they're wanting to do. That is what's important in putting that resume together. So don't be afraid if you have a gap. You get to control the narrative of your story. And so being able to tell that on paper and in person is part of the work that you do in getting yourself ready for your job search. If you've ever been fired from a job, you know that the emotional baggage that can carry with you years later as you move on through your career. And when you're now putting a resume together or you're thinking about interviewing for a new job, it can feel very scary to think, how am I going to answer these questions? What am I going to say about that situation where I was fired or let go from a previous employer? And I just want to assure you that there definitely is an approach that you can take to make this easier. First, I want you to get really clear about where you're going, because where you're going is more important than where you've been. And being able to talk about where you're going and the skills and the value and the experience that you have that's going to be helpful and of value to that new opportunity is what they really need to hear most. You can answer the question about why you were let go from a previous role with a simple sentence to just let them know that that position ended. And that now you're looking forward to a new opportunity that allows you more growth, that allows you the opportunity to expand your leadership skills, that allows you the opportunity to get more skilled in a certain specific area, that allows you to work with teams or customers or colleagues in a collaborative environment, and that didn't exist in your previous role. And that's why you're really interested in this opportunity now moving forward. When you focus on the value that you can bring to that employer, and it will help keep you away from falling down that rabbit hole and all of that anguish and emotional baggage you get from what happened in the past, because where you're going in the future is what you really want to focus on. That's where your energy comes from. That's where your excitement comes from. And you'll be able to convey that to your next potential employer. Preparing for interviews is something that you definitely want to spend some time on. And while there are a lot of resources out there where you can look up interview questions, you can look up typical answers to interview questions, you can get all sorts of information around what might be a good way to answer certain interview questions that come up. But the thing that I really want you to take away is that an interview is not an interrogation. It is a conversation, and it is the beginning of a relationship. And preparing for an interview as a presentation is a way to build a strategic plan for that conversation. So knowing who you are, knowing what value you bring, knowing about this company and what they need from somebody in this position, and preparing your presentation, your interview answers and what you want to say and what your strengths are and how your results in your past jobs relate to this company are all tied together in a package. But your preparation ahead of time, knowing that you have a message that you want to convey, and it is all about your value to their specific need, will help you feel more confident and comfortable with any interview question that you get asked. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel or leave a comment. It helps me to know what you like and what kind of topics you're interested in so I can keep making new videos for you.